Well, it's my good fortune to be here right on the edge of Maidan Square with Alyona and with Halyna. There's two of the greatest Ukrainian girls. One is you are from Kiev?
Yeah,
You're born here from Kiev. And Halyna is actually from Crimea.
Yeah, from Crimea.
But attending university in Kiev at the moment. And they've both been showing me around and recreating the story of Maidan and the successful revolution that took place here. And it's interesting that you were both working with each other as volunteers during the time of the revolution, but you hadn't actually met each other at that stage. So Halyna was actually cooking the soup, the borscht, in huge quantities. I guess you cooking.
Yeah, they needed a car to bring it here, so yeah.
And you were distributing the soup to Halyna, and you were getting the soup out to the various
our cars, as I don't know how we're a call center, something that people were calling us that we have something to bring to Maidan, like different stuff, medicine, food, and something more dangerous also. And we had drivers who were calling us saying we are willing to help, we can help. And we managed to know that people were connecting them who wanted to have car and they can drive and come here, and people who were passing something to order like food or.
How did all that volunteerism? Who was there? Someone coordinating that, or the people were just completely? They just worked so well together because it was a common cause that you were all working toward?
There were, during like our initiative, we sought a lot of people like from Kiev. Only in our bases, like for the 6 days, we had more than 600 cars. Like drivers with cars were crossing by Kiev and doing a lot of things, even dangerous. And we managed to successfully do like 10,000 tasks, different, like to bring something to hospital, or to bring, blood fridges to hospital, or to with this House of Ukrainian Culture, that was a culture center on the European Square there in Maidan. We were finding cars that will bring out pictures and other stuff from that house.
And store them?
No.
Safely,
the director of this house called us and said we have very valuable pictures, and we are fear that something will happen to them, because it was already once it was kept by Berkut, and something was damaged. And we were finding cars that will go there and bring it to another place to store this, because it's national treasures.
Sure, yeah.
So, and we were connecting,
And did you have a sort of a lot of phone lines where people wanted to help, and where did they ring in? Was it all done
we started from when it was the night of 18th, when it was this hot night, we were crossing by car by Kiev, and we didn't know how to help. It was really strange because we were in different places and there was no information how to help, what it needed, what medical is needed, where it's needed more. So we had some hot problems, but no one knew what to do. And in that night I managed text on some site, Maidan site, that we have a car, we can bring anything you want to Maidan. And in the morning there were a lot of calls. People were calling me and saying, I have food, I have medicine, I have money, I have something more. And I was running like a marshroute for my car. And then the drivers starting to ring me, like how safely to get to Maidan, what roads are in use, where it's more needed help. And I was trying to connect them, and then in one way my husband said, Alyona, stop. yeah, you will be, you will be burned by all this. We need to make a call center.
Yes.
And we brought, firstly there was people came who were near us because metro station wasn't going, and we went by Kiev, we called our friends, and they said yes, we will do, like we will create it with you. And we went by car to bring volunteers to our office. Yeah, we had a really big office for my company. We have office, and it was free for that moment because we stopped all our projects. And we brought volunteers, and in first, like we set up call center in like 3 hours. In 3 hours, we had working call center. We had two lines, and for one call that was took, we have 5 or 6 missed. And it was like constant process. You are only answering because you don't even have time to call someone because people were really a lot of people willing to work. And on next day we had already 6 or 7. We had already 5 phone numbers that people could yeah. Because my friends, I was spreading this idea by my friends, and they said, Alyona, what? Yeah, we can't call you because it's constantly it's like someone is bringing calls, so we can't say that we want to help. And we made more lines, more people. And in the end, like on the full, we had for up to 10 people, like 5-6 operators. We had one person that was responsible for people in fields. We had, agents. we were consolidating with other people who were here on Maidan, and they were telling us where are block posts, where is Berkut, where it's help more needed. We had agents with, bicycle Maidan. Velo Maidan, people who were on bicycle coursing here and phoning us and saying, well, here is blocked, here is Berkut, here is Titushki, and we gathered all this information, and we gathered information from hospitals, from block spots, from self-defense unions. So once we said that we have information about everything what is doing here, and we was collecting this information. So we had people who were analyzing what is going on in Kiev, where help is needed, and it was like up to 10 people once that were working to manage all this, to understand what is more needed now, what medicine is more needed, because it was really when we were called and said we need fridge for blood.
Yep.
Some hospital, and how to, it's 20,000 hryvnias, but we found it. Some hospital from near Kiev, we found it, and we sent a car that brought it here. So it's really miraculous that Kiev.
Well, you were transporting blood, you were transporting soap.
We transported everything, In the first day, people were calling us, and they don't know us more, and they were, very careful, telling us that I have something to drink. You say, no, Maidan don't need a lot of water on Maidan, don't bring more. No, you don't understand, we have bottles in glass to drink. Like for cocktail Molotov. Okay, so we'll bring car, yes. So it was we created really in these days we created division that worked 24 hours. And 24 hours our telephones weren't silenced.
Did you have a job? Did you have a day job at the same time, or did you have to chuck in your?
I have my own. We had me and my partners, my husband and my partners. My partner, I have a business partner. We have a company,
yep.
And my husband, he's military, and on the February he was in vacation. Okay. Yeah, we planned to travel to Italy. But we even had on this Wednesday in the evening we had a train to Bukovel. Yeah. We are planning to have some snowboarding, but we had another, and we totally focused on this because it was really needed by Kiev. Because firstly we were delivering medicine and food and other things like tires to burn them here, and then we were calling everyone and saying, what do you need? And, oh, we don't need food. Food is enough. We don't need medicine. Medicine is enough. We need people. Because people who were in the first, they were tired. No, who was involved at first on this, they were in hospitals, in block posts, and they were tired and they need to someone to change them.
Sure.
Yeah, and we spread all for our old channels in media that people are needed, volunteers are needed, and we had, and in 3 or 4 hours, we closed all these tasks that people are somewhere needed. So, and when people were calling, we're making, okay, you sleep at night, and then in the morning you will change those who are now working. And in such a way we were creating, some system to change people, because people were needed, food no more.
Well, your business background was very helpful in allocating resources and seeing what was needed. When we created this call center, all this project, I know exactly where my experience from the past was used, because we had in summer we had some project where we built call center for 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks call center built on our own because it was like some specialization. And in 2 weeks we built good working call center for our client. And during the Maidan we built it in 3 hours. In 3 hours, and we had fully worked call center that was upgrading, that was all upgrading during the project. And in us, like working for social media, because we spread information in Facebook, Vkontakte, and making a system. For example, and I worked a lot with events where to gather people for some, educational projects. And actually, new person that was coming to volunteer to our office in this project, he was getting into a course in like 7 minutes of instruction. 7 minutes, and person do on the same level that like person who was here for 1 day, the same level was doing the work that is needed. And so we worked more on this. So we have I personally sat on phone only on the first day when our volunteers were like who first came. They were totally tired, they were sleeping, and they were like say, well, we can't do anymore. And I sat on phone, and I was, it's constant. 5 missed calls while one is, Alyona, what's your plan from here on? How do you see the future? This is now you just handing over to the newly elected president, and you've got some other very important elections coming up in, is it September or?
They're not decided yet.
Okay. Is all your team, all those team of supporters that created this degree of freedom, are you now comfortable about handing it over to the democratic process, or do you still have some fears that all the corruption that existed before, that won't go away automatically, will it?
It's really a very tough question, because I remember Revolution 2004. I was involved in it also, and I remember how we won. Oh no, everything will be changed, and that was really big disappointment, huge disappointment. It was a disappointment. This new Maidan was fighting like first month, because there were a lot of people who were disappointed by that revolution, contributed a lot in it, and then it was all crushed by corruption one more time. But now, one of the principles from when we started this phone division, we had 3 principles. We agreed to, we're 3 partners, we agreed that we'll have 3 principles. First one is no offenses. No offenses. Because people all are stressed. People have different minds. People are differently involved. Some are fighting. Some are in a hot, different. There are different people, different opinions, and no offenses. Everyone has its own opinion. And the second one is not feeling yourself higher than others. So if we are doing something, we are equal with everyone. So don't, there are a lot of people who are saying I'm helping Maidan, or this shouldn't be. It should be your normal work, to volunteering family. It's normal. And third was to believe. We, from the first day, we believed that we will win, even when it was really tough and it was hard to believe. We still were believing the people in everything. And I think that now the same principles should be. So to believe that I made a decision that till the time I will believe that everything will be okay. There will be more people who will believe in the same way, and together we can do everything. So even if it will be another Maidan, we have experience in revolution.
You've got this whole new team of politicians coming on. You've got to give them those 3 rules to live by, haven't you? You've got to somehow keep them disciplined on and focused on doing just those limited number of things.
Yeah, really, we wish we could do more. We wish we could be more, have more, influence, have more resources, have everything more. But we are here where we are, and one of the principles that I'm providing, setting to the minds of people who believed in our project and who is near me, it's that think globally, act locally, do whatever you can where you are. Yeah. Because a lot of people are now pessimistic because it's we only changed faces in politics, nothing has changed, system isn't changed, everything is old, or they're stealing one more time, so we'll be. And so what we can do more. I think that if every person will do what he can, even it will be in his own house, in his own flat, in his own building, office, and he'll do everything that he can where he is not. Because we have a lot of this. We tell him technologies on kitchen. People who are sitting in kitchen and they know how to rule our country. We had you're laughing, but we had such calls. We on the last day of our team phone division, we had calls I am no one and I have no influence, but I have a plan how to save Ukraine. We think you have some influence on some people higher. Can you please connect me to them? I will tell them how to save our country.
Well, you have the ability to inspire others. You inspired so many of those people that were working with you during those 4 months. I just wish you every success in inspiring your politicians to pick up the challenge and change your country to the vision that you have.
It's not politicians, people. Because we elect them.
The people drive the politicians, and the politicians forget that.
Yeah, we elect them. We can vote for other person. We can vote for people who are not stolen. We can vote for them, but it's even now in these elections we have some sad cases of. But still, we believe that the more people will spread the idea that we should vote for people whom we trust, and these people will gather more social support. I think.
Well, I must thank you very much, and we wish you every success in getting there. Okay. Thank you so much. Well, I'm talking here with Alyona, who is a very well-informed Kiev citizen. And we've picked a very bad spot. We're about to be run down. And we're just positioned out on the front here of the building. What was this building called?
It was the Profsoyuz building. How?
Labor Union.
Oh yeah, something like that. And here we had we had kitchen here on the first floor, and we had on the third floor we had the medical department. And here it was like more logistic building, because here was all food and all medical things. So it was really tactically very, wise to strike on it, burn it first.
So the building was providing essential services to the protesters.
Yes, and everyone knew that it was clothes here, that was medical stuff here, that was medical division, and some, main services like self-defense and other.
Okay, so it would have been the government forces that destroyed the building then, or it wouldn't have been the protesters,
I think
would it?
It was like tactically very wise to do it. Because here it was the main sources of Maidan here were. So to burn them in the first place, it was really wise. And I didn't know who actually, because I wasn't here when it was burning.
This is to stop the protesters, I guess, to getting services.
Cut off everything. Cut off, the food and medical, because what was that night of like 18th night, there were nothing, no medicine, no food, and we should gather it one more time for new food, new medicine, because there was nothing left.
That's interesting. And that's a major job to refurbish and bring that building back to life, isn't it? That's a big task.
Yeah. There are a lot of big tasks now in Kiev to bring everything to...
Who's making the list of what comes first?
I think we now elected the mayor of Kiev, and everyone was waiting. We were waiting for these elections because we knew that when they will come, there will be like a team of people who are responsible for making some plan. There are a lot of civic groups that can provide the ideas how to do, but from the level of mayor it's more thin. But now plans of mayor, we don't like them because he wants to get rid of Maidan and everything that is here, and I don't think it's possible, and I don't think it's wise for now.
It's a tough task.
Tough task, but I don't think it's needed.
Are these soldiers left over from, were they freedom fighters, or were they these guys in uniform that just walked past?
I think that now there are people who are in, I don't know what to do more, because they're here because they don't know what to do more, how to influence on what's happening now in the country. There are a lot of people who don't have where to go. There are some people from Crimea here, people who had some psychology trauma from Maidan, and they used to this life and they can't stop it.
There probably, would it be fair to say there may be 1,000 people living here on the site of Maidan Square?
I think that there are a lot of people. They're not citizens of Kiev. They're not like from Kiev. They're from other. They're from other cities of Ukraine.
And a lot of these tents are set up somewhat like a museum, and many of them, aren't they?
Museums were like they are keeping honor of those who were killed here, because they knew them, they were fighting with them, and here people that have really psychological traumas because of this, and they psychologically can't get out from here. It's a really big work, because for us it's really traumatical. I haven't been here since impeachment of Yanukovych, because it's really traumatical to see all this.
Was that a big celebration when he stepped down and vanished?
It was, I have photos from. We made some. We were all tired, all exhausted. There was not it was very sad happiness. It was really sad happiness. We came here and everything was it was very sad.
More relief.
Relief and people were tired. Tired, exhausted. It was everything somewhere in this. We've seen blood. We've seen the sounds of fire, and But you know, from that moment, we realized that we won.
Things got better.
Huh?
Things got better from that moment.
We won first
Yeah.
fight. You know, there is a lot of fights. Like now we have a lot of in other places. It's like corruption. We fight with corruption with others, but there was first fight that we won.
Good.
And
That was,
yeah.
It was a good fight.